Hello. Good evening. Man, I was hoping there was more to that bit of the soundtrack. Sheesh. Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing on this fine Sunday evening? Hope we're all doing well. Sorry for starting late today. I, was out having fun with friends. I should be popping up any second. There I am. But yeah, I was out with some friends. I made some last-minute plans. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. I made some last-minute plans to go get dim sum with friends. Nia, what are you doing? Why'd you choose to go up that way? Sorry, 1 second. Ian's being dumb. What else is new? She decided to jump up on my bed the incorrect way. But yeah, I made some last-minute plans to go get some dim sum with my friends. And so I was like, cool, fuck it. Dim sum it is. So went out, grabbed some dim sum, and it was my first time having dim sum as well, which was fun, interesting, different. It was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. And then we hung out for a bit, and next thing I knew, it was like 5 o'clock, and I was like, oh shit, gotta go home. And then we hung out for like another 30 minutes, and I was like, ah shit, it's 5:30, we gotta get out of here. And I was like staying like 30 minutes away from where I usually live. Yeah, I don't live there all the time. No, from like 30 minutes away from where I live. And so we had to drop a friend off and stuff like that. And so by the time I got home, I was, by the time we would be expected to get back, I was like, I can't really even start at 6. Just push it to 7. Push it to 7. So I was like, yeah. So, I got me a ramune. And today, like I promised, no 8-hour stream. Woo! Okay, cool. Stream's over. Bye, guys. Yeah, instead of an 8-hour stream, you get like an 8-minute stream. No, today, like it says, we're gonna do our little Persona spoiler talks, talk about the themes in the game, talk about other stuff. I feel like I want to do like maybe some tier lists. I figured that would be fun. Hello, Rosemary. In time. I'm actually gonna check the tier list maker to see if there's already some stuff. We're gonna do Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload. Social link. Or character link. Character tier list. Boop. 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 What should we play today? Alpha, I don't think we're gonna be playing a game today. I do not think we will be playing a video game today. We don't have to play a game every single day. Because your boy's tired. I'm quite tired, I'm gonna be real with you. I did not get an insane amount of sleep last night, unfortunately. And you know, it's a little unfortunate, but I was up late and I forgot I had to do something, and I was like, oh fuck. So what the ending in P3 are? No discussion about the ending in P3? No, it's spoiler talks. That means we're talking about everything. But the reason why I didn't get a lot of sleep last night is because I was up late. I forgot I had to do something. Not to say I don't go to bed late anyways, but I had to wake up a little bit earlier today, so I had enough time to get ready, because I needed to, like, you know, shower, shave, get ready, and all that stuff. So I went to bed a little bit later after I ended stream. And yeah, and so I just didn't get an insane amount of sleep because I didn't go to bed until like, or fall asleep until like 4:30, and I got up around 10:30. So, excuse me, so not like an insane amount of time of sleeping. So I'm a little eepy. I'm an eepy lad today, but I will give you head as I've promised. But first and foremost, let me also get rid of some things, some tabs here. Boop 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 boop. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of that one too. Let me check this real quick. Cool. Sorry, I'm just double checking my tabs to make sure, like, if they're really good. Endings of spoilers. Kite. It's spoiler talks. Again, we're going to be talking about everything in the game. Everything. What's up, Jago? It doesn't. There's no tag that says no spoilers. I literally even say in the stream title, Persona 3 Reload spoiler talks. Beware spoilers. So that way people who haven't beaten the game don't show up. So, but okay, Space Drunk Road. Sorry, I was listening to. We had Mario Galaxy OST playing. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys a quick question. I want you to tell me if you hear this. Do you hear that? If you hear that, great. And I just need you to know that it will be fantastic. Please tell me. You do not hear this? Okay, cool. Fantastic. What am I supposed to hear? You're supposed to hear music. Cool. Well, I'm just gonna play this again in the meantime. Okay, because the issue is that, when I streamed last, not last time, but the time before that, the music I was playing while we were on this screen did get picked up into my recording, which isn't supposed to happen at all. So that got me a copyright strike, and I was like, how do I argue this? I can't, so I have to cut that out. So, hello, Beanie. My lovely voice. My voice don't sound that lovely today. Shush your mouth. Shush your face. Shush your face. Alright. You will probably hear this. I'm gonna play something that I know is safe to play. What's safe to play because it's video game music? What's in my thing? I have to go all the way to Y for this. Ugh. I have to go all the way to Y in my fucking playlist. I can play Persona music, that's for sure. Where is it? Where is it? Alright. Do you hear this? You hear Beneath the Mask. Ba-dum-dum. Oh, you hear that? Cool. That's safe to play. So if it gets picked up on the VOD, then okay, whatever. Vaguely, yeah, I know it's pretty quiet. So I'll up it a bit. I'll have to up it in iTunes. There we go. That should be better. It's been high rotation for me. See, the thing is, for whatever reason, and again, not that it matters too much to me, the Persona 3 Reload stuff has been getting caught through the YouTube copyright system by one company in particular, and I'm like, huh? What? Huh? What? What happened? So I've been very hesitant to play anything in regards to anything Persona related outside of like Persona 5 that I know is safe, and because it has been safe for a long time. So it's only been select tracks. I don't know why, and it's the new ones. It's not the old ones. So I've tried to dispute them, but the claims say that they're like, oh, your claim is, you know, they've determined it's still valid. I'm like, what? Which ones has it been? It's been like all of the new tracks from Persona 3 that they put into Reload. Let me actually check. Let me check my email real quick. I can tell you. I don't think I can, actually. Oh, yeah, so for one of these claims was downright stupid. Somebody claimed The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask because the Song of Healing was played, and that's objectively incorrect. Somebody claimed that, and then somebody else in the same video claimed has been disputed. I disputed that, and then which was this one? Yeah, so this company called Nextone has been claiming my stuff. In this case, they claimed Master of Tartarus Reload. It's literally been all the Persona stuff. And this company is a legitimate company. I've tried to communicate that I own a legal copy of the game. I don't know what's going on. And they're doing this on behalf of Atlas, which is very weird. Oh, it's because they're a fucking advocate for copyright holders. That's why. It's a YouTube side. It's YouTube side. Yeah, it's a copyright advocate company. So, I guess they're claiming it on behalf of them, even though it's like, hey guys, stop. Yeah, it's a Japanese company too, so. Yeah, it's weird. It is very weird. It's like, yeah, I don't understand. It's the music copyright management business, which has been monopolized by Japanese Society for Rights of Others. Yeah, so I think all the copyright strikes after I've disputed them have disappeared, which is good. So, but I've been very hesitant to play anything in regards to Persona 3's music outside of what's been in the game. Because the thing is, too, they're claiming stuff that was in the game, and I think it's from moments when either I wasn't talking or from moments when I was away and I was on BRB. So that also meant just the music was playing for an uninterrupted amount of time. So it might be going through, like, their automatic copyright claim system. So, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Because I can even go check my YouTube studio real quick. Oops. Didn't mean to double up on music there. Oopsies. And we'll go to my YouTube studio. Yeah, because the... Yeah, I only have one in dispute now, and... Yeah. One I'm sure I'll win. And then the other one... I can't even find when this segment is in this VOD. It was for literally like a minute and a half. And it's called From 10 Years Ago Recollection. And it was on behalf... Oop, can't play this just to be safe. As much as I want to. Got hit on YouTube for 13 channels on that. That's so weird. Yeah, the thing is that these copyright claims don't affect me, but it's fucky. So, anyways, I'm just gonna go to YouTube and we're just gonna play some Persona 5 music because I know that's safe. Because I know that's safe. Yeah, unfortunately, gamers, until I make sure that on the recording pass, at least on the recording for any other of copyright music, I want to make sure that it doesn't get picked up in the recording. So that way we can still listen to it. So, anyways, I'm just gonna put on Persona 3 Reload OST. Yeah, I'm gonna gamba on it. I'm gonna gamba. As long as it doesn't play the opening. No. Nah, maybe I won't gamba. Anyways, let me find something to put on real quick. You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna put on It's Going Down 10 Hours. It's Going Down Now. Extended edition. And then we can get into some spoilery talks. Ooh. Bitch, what's my logo? Bitch, I don't got no logo. I don't got no logo yet. Ass. I know I am, okay? I know I am. Do you have a transparent chibi art? Or I do. I can DM it to you. Let me DM it to you real quick. Have me on Discord? Sure. Yeah. How you doing though, Sylvie? Here, I'll DM you. Oh, you just DM'd me. Never mind. Cool. Look into my eyes. Dun, 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 dun. God, hearing this again is giving me so many, like, it's giving me, like, war flashbacks of the best kind possible. Let me turn that up for you guys. Doing well. Just had a headache trying to deal with my mixer and trying to make it sound nice for Discord. I get you. This soundtrack again has me in a chokehold. I know! Dude, this soundtrack's so good. Persona 3 always had really good music, right? Like, Persona 3's always objectively had really good music. Yeah, we finished P3R last night. That's why we're doing spoiler talks today. Because I'm like, let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about this entire game. Let's gush. So that way we're not gushing at, like, 1:30 in the morning. Cool. I sent you a request up, by the way, Sylvie. Nice. Cool. This is also why I got tired. No, it's not why I got tired. I explained why I got tired. Present image. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's going in your butt. Oh, never mind. But I keep going look into my eyes because it's such a bop. It's such a bop, dude. This is just in the meantime while I try and get like some other music up. Blanc was deserved. Sheesh. Give me a few minutes. Okay. Cool. Thank you. For whatever you're doing. Alright, Persona 3 Reload, Iwatodai Dorms. Extended. Please have an extended. Down. Alright, hold on. Here we go. Ah! Here we go. Now we got the real vibe and jams going on, gamers. Let's go. Now we got the real jamming. So, considering... I can also turn my mixer way the fuck down now. I'm already streaming. Yes, I am, Caleb. I am. I already started late, too. For reference chat, I was hanging out with Caleb today. Caleb and a couple of our other friends. So, Caleb's like, oh my god, you're already streaming? How? Because I promised myself and I made a schedule. Caleb, I said I was going to start at 6 originally. And then I didn't get home until like 6:45. So I even started like a little late, too. You're impressed? That's okay, Caleb. I have the stamina built up for this. You just don't. Yes, this is a Caleb Yen call-out post. Alright, cool. So, I think we're gonna start something, I think we're gonna start off with something a little controversial that I think will be fun. In regards to Persona 3 Reload. I think we're going to do a tier list! Because that'll help us get the spoiler talks going. So, this is going to be, this is just a general character tier list. Beanie, thank you for gifting us up to Caleb. This is just going to be a general, like, character tier list, but I'm going to be taking the characters that have social links into account, right? So they will get extra bonus brownie points if they are extra good. I will make an objective, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some stuff. But I'm gonna get my phone all set up here too for you gamers, so you guys can get head. Kenji? No, Kenji deserves to be shat on, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh my lord. Yep, you're getting Zeph head, because it's Persona related. But after Persona, since y'all earned it during Persona, and I was posting the VODs to YouTube with head, no more head for a bit. As long as I don't show Akiko. Ah, damn, I can't put him in F tier. Damn it. Fuck. Oh, man. Okay. Let me get V-Bridger and everything set up. No, Akiko's not going into F tier. Don't worry. There isn't even an F tier. I am gonna have to be, like, kind of, like, objectively honest in some cases, though. So, bear that in mind. There's only so much leeway I can give. Not everybody deserves to be an A tier or S tier or anything like that. You know? They're all good boys and girls, with exceptions. And we will, you know, tackle that as necessary. Alright, let me get rid of that. Cool. Alright, one thing first before I go. I'm going to go ahead and get a water. That's what those things are called. I'm gonna go get a water. Because water is very importante. And, whoa. There we go. And so that way I stay fully hydrated because I haven't had a lot of water. I've had a lot to drink, just not a lot of water. You feel me? You feel me. You guys feel me. If you didn't, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. So, I'm going to pause Iwatodai Dorm just to be safe from YouTube's copyright laws. Usually Twitch is fine. I haven't gotten a Twitch copyright strike in a minute. I'm going to put on Beneath the Mask for a second. The rainy version. Hee 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 hoo hoo hoo. More Beneath the Mask with the rainy mood. Cool. Put that up. There we go. Cool. And I'm going to get leaf water. I did, but it was just OKT. Anyways, I'll be right back. Sorry, I muted myself too soon. Boop. I'm gonna blip out of existence, and I'll be back very soon. Hit. You know, I'm not surprised. I can't leave my mods alone for more than like 5 seconds. I literally can't leave anybody alone for an extended period of time, can I? It's like my mods need to be monitored like children. Ignore the sound you just heard. Rosemary's trying to ban me again? No, they're not. I can look up in chat. Oh wait, never mind. Rosemary, don't ban Beanie. We need their sub. Oh, that's funny. Are the mods innocent? No. You know what? I'm reporting this poll. Terrorism. Oh, that's funny. Alright, cool. Now that I'm back, we can play Iwatodai Dorbs. Alright, cool. And we're gonna swap on over here real quick. And doop. Alright, and here I am. Hey, here I am. Let's go. Cool. So, to help us get our talks going, we have all the characters here that basically have portraits that I guess matter to the plot. Let's add some tiers. Come on. Add row below. We'll do F. And then we'll do... add another one below for do not engage. Boomst. bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Cool. Let me change the color here. Nah, bro, to be like shitty purple. And then we'll do this one to be F tier to be like red. And we'll change S tier to be this blue. Boop. Boop. Okay, cool. So. Hello, Tiny. Hello. So. And this is going to help us out in the long run when it comes to characters, right? So I think there's going to be some characters I'm going to save for last when talking about this. Just because I think they're going to be good talking points, right? So I think I might save the party for last to talk about and place them. Yeah. Hi, Wally. Hello. Wally changed their name. I am Wally, not I am the Walrus. It's so weird. It's based on my opinion. It's based on my opinion. It is based on my opinion. This is my thoughts. This isn't like chat is going to do this. Chat's not like making the tier list. I'm making the tier list. I'm going to be making this tier list to share my thoughts, and we can talk about it as a whole. You guys can share your thoughts, all this other stuff as well. But I feel like this is a good jumping off point to really start talking about things, right? So I think that is a good step forward. So first off, we are going to place Tanaka and Nabro because good villain, but nah. We're gonna place Jin, and we're gonna place Ikutsuki. You did that was your sleepy? I see. But yeah, we're gonna put those three in Nabro instantly. Because do not interact, do not engage. Also hi Khan, sorry if I didn't see you before. So primarily the reason why I'm putting them in Nabro is because they are the villains. I'd rather try and rank them against other Persona villains, if I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I'm just gonna put them in Nabro. Oh, I'm also gonna put Mitsuru's dad in Nabro because he literally did nothing the entire game. Actually, I'll make a tier, like, literally did nothing. Add row below. Oops, wait, no, I add row below. Here we go. Hold on, let me get rid of this row. Delete this row. Get rid of this row. Get rid of this row. Delete that row. Cool. Literally did nothing but die. Oh my god, that's funny. That's funny. So there are some repeats here, right? There are some repeats. Like, we have Pharos and Ryoji, we have Maya and Miss Toriumi, even though they're the same person, right? And that's just because that's how they are. They just took all the characters that have portraits that were important to the game and slapped them in here. So, also let me check my DMs real quick. Hold on. Oh, sheesh. Sophie made me a thing. Alright, cool. So we're gonna ignore the party members to start with. We're gonna start with Elizabeth. Elizabeth has definitely become my favorite Velvet Room attendant. Elizabeth, I think, is S tier. S or A. I think I'm gonna put her in S for now. I think Elizabeth's little character arc she has over the course of the game is super sweet. How she kind of comes to realize that she wants to learn more about the world genuinely. Her curiosity's super cute. Oh, I did? Oh, I forgot to toggle it off. Oopsies. Where is it? Haha, sorry. Get that out of here. No more feet pics. No more feet pics. I haven't been on display capture in a bit. So I really like Elizabeth. I think as we go on, we might like change some stuff up. So who knows? But I think Elizabeth being an S tier is a solid place to put her. I really enjoyed her. She's super fun. She's super innocent, super goofy, all this other stuff. And she's just super cool. Super cool. We'll do, Kamiki. Kamiki's social link was really good. I want to put him I think I want to put him, like, towards S tier, A or S tier. I think I'm going to put him A for now. The reason why I'm putting him in A tier as opposed to S tier is because while I really think his social link was super fucking good, right? It was so good. So good. It was really depressing for a while. And part of me really wanted to see his resolution kind of be that, like, learning to live. Hey! Sorry, cats are fighting in my room. What the hell? Sorry, didn't mean to yell at you guys. The cats literally ran into my room and started fighting. I'm sorry for yelling at you guys. That wasn't intended. But yeah, so I really wanted to sort of see like a resolution to his social link being like less that he only found meaning to his life and then just kind of died, as sad as that was and super wholesome at the same time. Hey, get out of my room. I just had to threaten the other cat with the water bottle. I don't know. It was really depressing. He was kind of a little aggro a lot towards the player. But yeah, I ended up really liking his social link just because of how it ended. Fun fact for you. His story does end up getting published. So, because of reasons that I won't fully go into because it's spoilery, but it's stuff that, like, technically hasn't happened yet in regards to Persona 3 Reload in particular, and we don't know if it will or not. Kamiki's story does get published eventually. Mitsuru finds it and publishes it. Because in Persona 4, Kanji references that story. And he ended up loving it. So that story does get published, which is really, really nice. So his story does see publication, which is really, really cool. Really, really sweet. But yeah, I think for now I'm going to put him in A until we get some more people in there. But I ended up really liking his social link. Initially, I was like, oh, he's dying. Cool. Great, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, I was crying a bit. And when his mom showed up at the very end of the game and you talked with her about everything, that's when I really started to sob. So his ended up being really nice. Bebe is S tier. We stand Bebe. Bebe is the sweetest little French boy who loves Japan and cares about his family too. And will eventually come back to Japan one day. Bebe is S tier. Bebe is absolutely, without a doubt, S tier. Absolutely, without a doubt, S tier. Really great. His was just so wholesome. He's such a wholesome little guy. Or, I can't really call him little. His actor was so good. Oh my gosh, the French accent was great. And his felt like a really genuine friendship, right? Right? He literally felt like a very genuine friendship that you would make with somebody. And I think that's why I really value about his social link, is that he's one of the only social links that feels like a natural friendship formed and has stuck, you know, despite the distance. A friendship? But yeah, no, I agree. Like, his felt very real, very grounded, very good. Let me also make chat a little bit bigger. Dang, you guys are tiny. There you go. Because we're small. But yeah, Bebe's felt very real. Very, very good. So, S tier. S tier. Definitely one of the better social links in the game, too. They're like, the thing is with Bebe's as well was that his didn't have an insane amount of, like, trauma or strife to come over. His was just trying to convince his uncle and his family to let him stay in Japan, for only him to realize that, like, hey, I'm not going back to Japan just yet, because my uncle is grieving and shit like that. I'm like, oh, he's a good kid. He's a good guy. We love him. We love him. Bunkichi and Mitsuko. Theirs is really sweet. I don't think they're S tier worthy. They were really cute, really sweet. But I do think they belong in A tier. Definitely one of the better social links overall in the game. Because also, they are just the cutest little old couple. Their journey was super sweet. I think A for now, in my opinion. Again, things will be moved around. But I think A is a good place to put them. right? Because the thing is with some of the earlier social links too is that they're supposed to be easy, because Bunkichi and Mitsuko are available 6 days out of the week, every day except for Sunday. I'm sorry, except for Monday, right? So, and they're one of your first social links you ever get. You're supposed to like be able to max them out insanely quickly if you really wanted to, because you could just go hang out with them every single day, right? And it was a sweet little story. Actually, I'll keep them an A right now, but I think they might move down to like top of B depending on who else we put in there. But they were really cute. I loved them. They felt like my real grandparents. They became my honorary grandparents. Super sweet. I'm gonna save Chidori for later, because Chidori is actually like something I want to talk about how mature Persona 3 is as a game in a lot of places in regards to its main plot. Chihiro, I'm putting her in A tier. I'm gonna put her above Bunkichi and Mitsuko. I love her journey. I absolutely adore her journey so much. Factoring in non-romantic plot lines here as best I can, right? Just because I want to make sure that, you know, we're being as transparent as possible. Her romance also felt very natural, right? Her romance felt very natural. But I'm putting her in A because I really genuinely liked her character, her development. Because it started off as her wanting to get more comfortable talking to men, right? A very understandable thing because of how her dad treated her. But it spun into her standing up for herself. Her gaining confidence to say things that she wants to say that she felt like she couldn't because she was too nervous or too scared to. And that's something that I feel like it's a really good journey for her. And in later games, you do see that she's maintained that change. She doesn't go back on it, right? She stays changed. She stays confident. She eventually becomes student council president, as we see in Persona 4. So, I really like Chihiro a lot. I think hers was really cute. I really like that her conflict was that people didn't believe her, and that she needed to actually stand up for herself and not rely on other people to do that for her. I really like that about her. Odagiri. Odagiri's B. I ended up liking his a lot more than I thought I did. I thought it would have been really funny if he decided to become a politician instead of a teacher. Or if he would decide that's what he wanted to do. My main issue with Odagiri's social link really was that it feels like a lot of stuff was happening, but also nothing was happening for a while, right? I think I really like the ending of how it's like, hey, that reporter, that was my dad. Where it's like, you know, the reporter was doing the right thing and then lost his job because of it. But yeah, he started off very harsh, which is, I'm fine. You need people to be real with you on occasion, right? Oh, there's still drinks in this. But you know, I think overall, right? Overall, I think he was pretty alright, pretty solid. The ending is what really sold it on me. He decided he didn't want to become something that he could see himself becoming. So, put him in B. Kai's, one of the first social links as well. He's kind of dumb. I'm really happy that, you know, when you max him out, he actually is like, oh, dude, let's go. I'm also putting him in B. Excuse me. Also putting him in B. His wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. Not to the point where it was just decent, right? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of my time with a lot of these social links, to be fair. Also, as a heads up, gamers, anybody who does not have a sub, I have an ad break coming in a minute. I'm going to put him in B above Odagiri. I felt a little more invested in his plotline because we learned more and more about, like, how him being stupid could actually fuck him up for life. And so him kind of learning to, like, say, fuck my pride, I'm going to do what I know I can do and what it should be right is the right call to make. So, you know, I think B's a good place to put him. Then comes Keisuke. Keisuke I'm going to put in... I'm going to put him... let me see who else is here. I'm going to put him in C. I like Keisuke. I didn't like how flip-floppy he was I get it. He's like a 17-year-old, 17, 18-year-old figuring out what he wants to do with his life. I'm putting him in C. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like him. And I thought his social link was good, but I think it's no more than just good. Right? Because, oh, man. Oh, I don't know. I didn't look... it was a very rough social link starting out. Very rough starting out, where I didn't really like wanting to go hang out with him. And, like, dude, there was just so much where I was like, make up your mind, man. Like, you could be an artist. Like, he's like, I don't want to be a doctor because that's what my dad wants me to be. And his dad was being so harsh. And I'm like, buddy, you should really make up your own mind. So, I'm kind of upset also that he decided to become a doctor instead of an artist when it seemed like art was his passion initially. But, you know, he discovered it was actually wanting to be a doctor. So, I know that's how teenagers are. Don't get me wrong. But, again, I didn't really look forward to hanging out with him. Ever. He's a sweet guy, but, you know, I think the beginning is pretty rough until you get, like, past... like, I want to say rank 6. I feel like rank 6 is when it starts to get good. I think that's when it starts to get good. Right? So, I'm also going to do something real quick. There we go. Cool. This way I can keep an eye on the music timer. No worries, Neko. I'm technically the one who started late, so you're okay. But yeah, we're going to put Keisuke in C. Kenji's in D. Kenji's doesn't deserve F because he's a dumb kid, but he's D. Arguably one of the worst social links in the game. Not a good guy. He's dumb. He's dumb. I actively don't like Kenji. I actively do not like Kenji. I think he's so stupid. His is actually pretty bad. I get it. Baby's first social link. You can hang out with him, whatever. But I also feel like his social link tells a lot about the protagonist as a character, which we can talk more about when we get to that point. He's a Nabro. No, Nabro I'm reserving for, like, people who you actively did not interact with outside of, like, plot, right? So Chidori I make an exception for because there were some bigger stuff to do there. Yo, thank you for the follow, dude. Sorry, I can't see your full name here. DePeros Cosmic, thank you for the follow. Because, like, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I get what it's like to be a kid who's like, yo, I like older women. But, like, he wanted to date a teacher. I'm like, buddy. No. No, don't be dumb. Do not be dumb. And he never truly dated his teacher. He was just so eager that he thought he was dating his teacher. Right? And his teacher, the fault also lies on Miss Kano. Because she didn't see the signs. And she kind of led him on a little bit as well, you know? So there's an issue with that as well that I take problem with. But yeah, so don't date a teacher, they don't get paid well. In Japan, they even don't get paid that well. But yeah, he's D. I think he learned his lesson for the most part, but then I think he's technically scripted to not act like that. I don't know. He's D tier. Kenji's in ways that's, like, kind of real. Yeah, I did feel bad for Kenji, right? I did feel bad for Kenji. Because bro literally had his heart broken. And it was his fault, but it wasn't only his fault. Right? So I felt bad for him. It was sad in a kind of pitiable way. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in D. I don't think he deserves F. He's garbage. But yeah, he's in D. You know, when he's out of high school, when he's in college, he's an adult, that's a lot better. But as a 16-year-old, 16, 17-year-old, no, he's bad. But he became our best friend. So, I don't know. Maiko goes to S tier. Maiko's S tier above Bebe. Probably above Elizabeth. Probably above Elizabeth as well. I loved Maiko's social link. Sweetest bean ever. And also, holy shit, the way that it was written for Maiko to grow and deal with this divorce was so real. So real. Like, oh my god. Seeing her, like, learn to, like, take an initiative to ask to... Oh. Like, I will say this. The stuff about her running away, while it ended up working out in the long run, that I would not support at all as a responsible adult or teenager. I get it. It seems like the right thing to say to somebody's like, oh, you're gonna run away. They won't do it. She actually did it. You know? But yeah, and the fact that I got so invested into it because of the family drama and this poor sweet child is just trying to be happy, trying to live happily with her family. It just sucks. It just sucks. And I think she also ended up becoming really mature because even though, like, objectively, well, not objectively, weighing both her mom and her dad as, like, who she should live with, her dad being the slightly more, asterisk, he did hit her, but felt like shit about it, so that's an improvement. Her dad being the more, I guess, slightly better option compared to her mom from what we saw, right? She still elected to become the bigger person and spend time with her mom because she knew her mom was going to be lonely and she couldn't do a lot of things. Also, hi, Rin. Thank you for the follow. So, I think Maiko was such an amazing social link. Absolutely such an amazing social link. Just because of how simple yet deep it was. Also, her actress killed it, dude. Oh my god. Her actress was so good. So believable. So fucking believable. Absolutely phenomenal social link. I wasn't expecting to get as invested in it, and I fucking loved it. And it was really cute how she, like, basically proposed to you and all that shit. And it was funny how her dad was just like, she proposed to you? I'm not letting you touch her with a 10-foot pole, you piece of shit. I thought that was funny. But not to say that protagonist ever actually would go marry Maiko. It's a very, like, she's a kid, you're just gonna humor her sort of thing. I mean, tips for beginner streamer VTubers, have fun. And don't worry about your audience. They'll come. Just have fun. That's what I would say. And, fun fact for you, I'm basically still a beginning VTuber / streamer because I've been at this for like 3 years and I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah. Just have fun. Make sure you're having fun. And a piece of advice I learned from watching even Ludwig, coincidentally enough, and ironically enough, was that you should be performing to, or, you know, streaming to sorry, you should be streaming and acting the same way on stream if you have like 1,000 people as if you only had one person, right? So really, that's a big thing. Stream as if you're streaming to 10 people. Stream as if you're streaming to like 10,000 people, right? Cater to a larger audience. That way the people that are watching you will stick around. You don't think I'm talkative yet? Takes time, but it's a big step. So, but yeah, and I don't mean to like distract too much from what you asked, but I'm gonna focus primarily on, you know, talking about Persona 3 Reload and stuff like that. You know, so I might not be answering a lot of questions like that just because, you know, I'm still learning how to VTube as well, so it's okay. I know I have the partner badge and all that, but, you know, I'm just a little guy. Anyways, hi Nyla. Hello. So Seer. Kenji's so low because you remind me of the good side of Kenji. D is the rest of his fucking D is where the rest of Kenji sits. So, get fucked, I guess. And we're going to restart the song because it's such a good song to have in the background. But yeah, so moving on. Oh, Mamoru! It's fun. I just got to see Yong Ya, who plays him today, too. I really liked his. He's a good boy. I'm going to put him... I don't think he's, like, A tier. But I'm going to put him in, like, top of B. He's a bro. The bad side of Kenji. Yes. I think Mamoru is top of B. I really liked his social link. I liked his energy. I really liked sort of like his motivation to help out his family. And it was kind of sad to see him give up going to, like, you know, college and pursuing, you know, further education. But it was a very responsible one, right? It was a very responsible one that wasn't easy for him to make. He wanted to go work at the same factory his dad worked at, despite his grievances with his dad, which is just, you know, teenager angst because his dad's not present in the picture because he died when he was a lot younger. And, you know, it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that, especially at his age. But yeah, I think his was really good. I think his was really solid. All right, and moving on. Maya! I actually kind of like Maya. I'm going to put her... All right, I'm going to give a special mention to Miss Toriumi. We're going to put Maya... I'll put her above Kaz. I actually enjoyed hanging out with Maya more than Kaz. Specifically... You sneezing on me? You sneezing on me, Nia? My cat just sneezed and I was like, huh! Hi, Jelly. How are you? I'm going to put her in B. One, because gamer teacher. We love to see it. Gamer in 2009. Hard to find. Two, the lead speak. The 2009 lead speak was so funny. And I'm so glad they kept it. But, actually, no, I'm gonna put her top of C. She was fun, but there's not a lot of substance to it. I'll put her top of C for now. She might go bottom of B. I'd say that. I really liked hers a lot, but it was mostly just because of funny, haha, sort of stuff. Miss Toriumi, on the other hand, solely because of the ending, is S tier. No, I'll put Miss Toriumi also, like, in C tier, because they're the same person. I just found it really funny that at the end... that at the end she finds out, and she's like, do you want to, like, get dinner? And she's like, I'm quitting this job. Do you want to get dinner? And she's just in such disbelief. And then I'm like, hey. Until she asked for dinner. It was still sweet. I thought it was funny. Well, I'm glad they didn't voice it. I wish they had little typing sound effects to voice lines. Yeah, I get that too. You risked her and then died. Shh, 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 shh. We haven't gotten to that part of the discussion yet. But yeah, I'm gonna put Miss Toriumi and Maya in C. So, she quit the job. She's no longer a teacher. That's true. But then she's dating a minor, which is not good. Cool. Oh, Mutatsu. Mutatsu's going in like A tier. I think I'll put Mutatsu... Yeah. I'm going to put Mutatsu in A tier right underneath Kamiki. I ended up really liking Mutatsu's. The fact that, like, he actually had a huge life lesson. Huge life lesson imparted onto him via us interacting with him was insane. And he showed actual growth. He showed a lot of care towards us. But... You know, it's hard to describe Mutatsu's. He was like the grandpa I wish I got to have. You know? He's a little rough, but he cares. And the fact that he's like, I'm going to go apologize to my wife 1,000 times over if I need to. 1,000 times over if I need to. Just to get her and my son back. I will. And I think that speaks volumes. And he did. He fucking did. He absolutely fucking did. Which is so cool. So cool. Also, Sears like, I didn't know you were doing a tier list today, but I came to say that you got me addicted to this game. Let's go! More people converted to being Persona fans. Woo! But yeah, Mutatsu unironically ended up loving him. His ending was really, really sweet. The fact that he recognized that he was drinking to run away from his problems is not something any person, let alone an adult his age, is going to come to that conclusion on. And he did. He fucking did. So good for him. Good for him. Suimitsu. I won't lie. He's D tier. He's kind of D tier. I feel bad for the cult kid. I kind of really didn't like it. You know, I'm sorry. Suimitsu's okay. He's just okay. Like, it has a nice ending. Okay, I will absolutely say this. Rank 10 was so good. His rank 10 was so fucking good. He was phenomenal. Like, the fact that he actually came to the conclusion, like, I can't be my brother. Like, I have to be me. And it's like, yes, you do. You know, when we actually learned about what happened to his brother, it made me give a shit. We actually, like, gave a shit. Meanwhile, it's like, cool, you're trying to get me to join your weird fucking cult. No. And I get why he was in that cult. I really do. And it is very sad and pitiable. But otherwise, Suimitsu's not that great to me. Oh, he's not the leader of a cult, but he ended up getting into a cult because of his... we're spoiler talking, so if you're here, you're doing this at your own, like, you know, risk, right? He joined a cult because they said they could get him into paradise. And he had a lot of trauma from his brother dying of food poisoning because his beef was undercooked. And so the cult promised him that, you know, you can go into paradise. You can be your true, better self. If you believe in us, you get more initiates. You bring people in. You steal their money. 130,000 yen initiative. And so, like, he was a desperate soul. Think of it like this. He was down on his luck. The Church of Scientology came in and helped him out. And fucked with his head. And then it took him, and it literally took until he was about to get his ass fucking beaten, possibly even killed, to realize that he needed to stop. So, you know, and it's because cults take advantage of people who are down on their luck like that. And so he is an extremely pitiable character. And his storyline didn't start picking up until later. And I will give him brownie points for this. I love how at rank 8 or at rank 9 it reverses because you have to call him out like you're gonna scam people because you know it's bad. And then they're like, oh wait, just kidding. Here you go. It's back to normal. You didn't fuck up. And then rank 10 was great. He didn't get good until literally rank 9 and 10. So I put him in D tier, but the difference between him and Kenji is like astonishing. You know what? I might do something later. Cool. Pharos and Ryoji. I really don't know how I feel about them. Like, my thing was, I didn't go out of my way to hang out with Ryoji. And I shat on him a lot. And he's a fine enough character. I'm not a Ryoji stan at all. Well, Pharos and Ryoji are the same person. They are the same person. It wasn't until later that he realized that. So they are the same individual. I do like the turnaround that the only reason why Ryoji exists as Ryoji has any semblance of humanity, right? I do like that plot point where it's because of his time from him being sealed within the protagonist that he became more human, right? I enjoy that. I think that is a great plot point. I do think that is warranting him getting a lot more attention. I don't like how he's tries to pick up every single girl he talks to. I'm like, hey, buddy, you know, you're not that attractive, IMO. So I don't know. I think putting him and Pharos in B tier is good because the C's as a group felt awkward about having to take him out, right? So I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Cool. I will say I love how Pharos looks like he crawled out of the nearest prison. Well, it's funny you should say that. The reason why he's in prison clothes is because the Death Arcana, aka the Appriser, is locked inside the protagonist. And so Pharos is dressed like that because he is a prisoner within the protagonist. So, that's why he looks like he's dressed up in prison clothes. So, you're right. So that's a fun little detail. I think B is a good place to put them. I'm not the biggest fan of Ryoji, but I will objectively say his story arc and stuff like that is very sad. Especially since, you know, he feels for the party. He feels for humanity because he has that aspect of humanity in him from his time with us. Because of the bond he forged with us. Right? So, gotta give him credit there. Also, Nick's avatar fight is so good. So good. Alright, Tanaka, F tier. Tanaka's an actual bad person, and Tanaka's F tier. He's literally dog shit. He's so bad. I'm sorry, he's really bad. You know what? No, he's bad. He's bad. Literally, Tanaka scams you out of 40,000 yen to start a social link, which you never see back. You never see your return on investment. He's a piece of shit through and through, and his character arc is that he learns to slightly care more about people, and that he decides to make a philanthropic investment to, like, a charity fund. Right? And, like, cool. No. Persona stories bound to each other. You can start with any. You can start with any Persona game you want. They aren't directly linked. Only if they share, if you get, like, Persona 3 Dancing, or you get Persona 4 Dancing All Night, that is a sequel to Persona 4 story. So you should play Persona 4 before you play that. So any game that has, like, say, Persona 4, this title, it's directly linked to it. If you saw, like, Persona 5 Strikers, that is a sequel to Persona 5. Persona 5 Tactica, that is a sequel to Persona 5. Persona Q and Persona Q2 are spin-offs, but yeah, you can play whichever Persona game you want, in whatever order. They're all in the same world, but they are not directly linked to each other. No worries, Limes. You can see, like, my reaction to stuff. The VOD is up on Twitch, it's not up on YouTube yet. So, because I need to upload them. And I need to cut some stuff out of one VOD. But yeah, I loved it. It was great. But yeah, Tanaka, actively piece of shit person. And then last, before we talk about C's and Chidori, is Yuko. We're gonna put Yuko in... I'll put Yuko in B tier. I'll put her... here. I think that's a good point. Good place to put him. Yuko was really cute. I liked her social link. I'll put her above Mamoru. I ended up liking hers a lot. I like how hers kind of went from being, oh, I don't really need to think about my future. That's future me's problem, you know? And being very apathetic about what she wanted to do in life. And then as faves or something else. I'm kind of ranking them how I feel about them compared to others. Like, so... kind of like as faves, but also like I think just as characters. This is just characters, but you know, a lot of them have social links. Because today's spoiler talk, and I thought this would be a really good way to start talking about spoilers and themes in the game. Right? I think this would just be a good way to ease into everything. Since we beat the game last night, right? So yeah. But yeah, I think Yuko belongs in B tier. Thank you for the hydrate. Yuko in B tier seems really nice. Because I don't think she's, like, as good to be put into A tier, or she's as good to be, you know, or as bad to be put into C tier. Yeah. I ended up liking her over these guys a lot more, I want to say. Yeah, I like that her turnaround was to become, like, a coach, like a legitimate, like, fitness coach, or, like, an athlete coach, or whatever it was in particular. Excuse me. So I liked that. Her romance was very cute. And she's just a girl. And I like that a lot. She's just a girl. She's just a regular high schooler, and I think that's the appeal to her, is that she is just a very human person. So the friendship with her and, like, it escalating into anything beyond that feels natural. So I think that's also why B tier is a good place for her. I think B tier is really solid. Let me take a sip of my water. Yeah. And now we're on to C's. Hold on. Koromaru goes in the goodest boy. He gets his own category. Unironically, I do think Koromaru's, from pure mascot perspective, I think Koromaru is probably the best mascot for Persona games, because he doesn't talk. And I think that's okay. But I also just like how he's just a dog. I really like that he's just a dog. And that's as simple as it gets. He's a dog that has a really good, like, sort of backstory to him. He's a sweet boy. He cares. He's intelligent. And he's aware. And he's just a good boy. I mean, what else can you say? Koromaru is so sweet. If you don't like Koromaru, something's wrong with you. Something is actively wrong with you. So, he deserves his own category. Why do you think I put him in the goodest boy? So, yeah. Koromaru definitely belongs in his own category. He's great. I love Koromaru. Oh, we have to talk about Chidori. So, Chidori is a little special to talk about, because somebody actually brought this up. I think Chidori, solely as, like, a character, belongs in, like, A tier. High A tier. I'm gonna put her above Kamiki. I don't think she's quite at S. I think she's at A tier. The only reason why I'm not putting her higher than A is because, for those of you who don't know, right? This was something I talked about at the beginning of A stream, I think 1 or 2 streams ago. I think it was with Small or Neko. There are some decisions and actions you can make while Chidori is still alive. And she will, after she dies, come back to life. And because of that, I think it's cool that that decision is there. At the same time, I feel like if you choose or you do those actions and she does come back to life, I think it devalues a little bit of Junpei's character arc, right? Because Junpei's character arc, let alone his second theurgy he gets, is literally the biggest reference to Chidori passing on her life, her powers to Junpei. And I think if she's alive, it kind of tramples on that point of character development for Junpei, because that means her life, Junpei's life, isn't just his own, right? Which was why he found the courage to keep going on after Chidori died, to fight against the fall, was because his life wasn't just his own. He was living for 2 people. So because of that and that alone, I can't put her at S tier. For that reason. I will continue to say Chidori is a phenomenal character, because the other thing is, too, that I really like about her, and this speaks volumes for how mature Persona 3's main themes can get. They treat the fact of her self-harming with so much, like, respect, right? They don't make fun of it. They don't take it lightly, and they don't just joke about it, right? They take it very seriously, and they don't just be like, oh, I cut myself so that way I can, feel something. But in Chidori's case, that's why she cuts herself. That's why she self-harms, because her mind is so broken because of how she was treated, because of the fact that she was one of the children who was experimented on to have a persona forced on her, a power she never asked for, a power that has actively made her as broken and so desperate to not lose her persona as possible, to the point where she doesn't understand what love is. She doesn't want to feel what love is because it hurts. She doesn't want to feel pain. She wants just to exist and then to simply not exist. That's why she like flocks to Takaya. Because Takaya is trying to bring about and preaches about ending the world, ending people's suffering, apathy syndrome, having nothing to worry about, nothing to feel, nothing to hurt about, right? And she hurts herself so that she knows what it's like to feel alive. And that's how she perceives it. And the reason why it's able to heal so fast is because Medea has some insane healing capabilities. And that's why Junpei was brought back to life from the brink of death, because of Chidori. And Chidori shoos Junpei away because she knows that she's falling in love, and she doesn't want to feel that pain. She doesn't want to feel the pain of loss when it's time for somebody to die. But then she comes to terms with that. She comes to terms with the fact that death is inevitable, but living in the moment and spending time with those you love matters more than fearing the inevitable end. Understanding that those emotions fucking matter. And she's such a phenomenal character study for that. I will also completely say, her new actress, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Does such an amazing job. Does such an amazing job making me actively love Chidori more. Actively. So, I gotta give props to her actress as well, which I don't know. Let me actually check to see who plays her. I can't remember. Chidori... Megami Tensei here. And P3R. Nope, don't go down there. Actor. And P3 was an unknown actor. It's Merritt Layton. Merritt Layton is Chidori's new actor. And they did a phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal job. Super, super phenomenal job. So, props to her for making me really care about that character. And because the game tells her story in such a mature way, I think she deserves so much recognition. She definitely deserves top of A. The only reason why I don't put her in S, after all I just said, was because of the fact that the player unknowingly can have a choice to have her come back to life, which I don't think should be the case. I think she should stay dead. I think she should stay dead. I think that does a disservice to Junpei's overall character arc. But I will say this: the way in which that it's done is that when she does come back, and they say it's because so the way you do it is that you, on a specific day in November, you have to tell Junpei to go see her, and you have to give her, you have to give Junpei some white flowers in particular, because Junpei's like, I don't know what she'd want. It's like, maybe some flowers. Like, yeah, it's true. I don't know what kind of flowers she gets. So you give Junpei white flowers. He brings them to her room, and I think at some point they die. And she uses her powers to bring them back to life. And then after she passes, presumably during her funeral, the flowers are placed on top of her body as sort of like, a memento, a tribute, And the life that she poured into those flowers flows back into her, and she comes back to life. And she has no memory of the Dark Hour at all. No memory of the Dark Hour, does not have a persona. And she comes back on January 21st in the game, if I remember correctly. But she doesn't come back till the very end of the game. Again, I don't think, as sweet as it is that she can come back, I don't think does she know Junpei at least? I'm pretty sure she does. Some supplemental material hints that she does, and that, they might get more serious in the future, but who knows? But yeah, I personally think that she should stay dead. I'm gonna be honest. specifically for Junpei's character arc. I think because of that, he really should. So, but yeah, that's my rant on Chidori, and to talk about how strong of a game this is. Okay, since we're talking about characters who die, let's talk about Shinji! Controls absolutely nothing about the Dark and Junpei included. Oh shit, really? Oh, okay. I didn't know about the Junpei part. Was our 5th voice acting role and our first game voice? Aw, good for them. Good for them. Shinji is definitely A tier as well. I end up really liking Shinji. I thought I wasn't going to. He's really cool. Really cool dude. I end up really liking him a lot. Sorry, 1 second. I have to do something for Rai. I'm gonna blip out of existence. So give me a sec here, chat. All right, I'm gonna blip out. Also switching the music so I don't get copyright claimed. Give me a second. I have to switch the music so we don't get copyright claimed. I'm just gonna put some lo-fi in the background. Nope, we're not listening to an ad. 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 Okay, here. Now I just be for real. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get this weird-ass lo-fi out of here. Alright, back to Iwatodai dorms. Start it over real quick. Okay, cool. Where was I at? Shinji. Cool, awesome. I ended up really liking Shinji a lot. I ended up liking him a hell of a lot more than I was really expecting to. In my initial playthrough of Persona 3 FES, didn't really like him. I thought it was really apprehensive for zero reason. When he died, I didn't feel that sad, which is weird to say, because I feel sad about him now. I think it was also just, like, I really think Justice did a really good job as playing as Shinji, and made me feel attached to him, and also getting to spend so much more time with Shinji in this game, which I wish I'd done all of his Link episodes. I really did, but I didn't, which sucks. But yeah, I definitely really like Shinji a lot. I think Shinji's cool. I think he's super cool. And, yeah, I think the way he handled his death and the way that his character arc sort of came around, his final words to Ken really helped with Ken's character development. His whole bit with that was really good. Super awesome. And then, yeah, and then, not to mention, his death is literally the changing point for the tone of the game, and also shows that not everybody is safe from dying in this game. And it snowballs even further into more characters growing because of it. So I'm going to put him up there. Now we're left with the other members of C's. I did not make my model myself, no. I'm artistically challenged when it comes to drawing stuff. So. Fuka, I'm gonna be real with you. Fuka's a C. Fuka's C tier. I'll put her top of C tier. Fuka's kind of like a... Fuka's just kind of okay. I'm sorry. She's just kind of okay. She, it's not to say she doesn't have personality. She is, she's cute. I like her. And her sort of resolution about wanting to, you know, come to term with the fact that her interests are her own and that that's okay is cool, right? So I guess I don't know. Like, Fuka's was cute, right? I enjoyed Fuka's social link. I'm putting her in C tier not because I didn't like her as a character, right? And to make things a little more clear, I'm gonna move Keisuke down to D tier, top of D, just because I think there's a distinction here. Top of D is like C minus to me, right? Top of D is like C minus to me, but I'm gonna put Fuka in C. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think she's cool. I like Fuka, but I didn't really feel anything else besides that. So I'm gonna put her in C. You guys can hate me for it, but I think she's in C. I don't know. I don't feel like when I look at what happens in B tier for the characters, right? And I look at Fuka, I feel, okay, I'll do one thing here, right? I'll put Fuka at the bottom of B tier. I'll put Fuka at the bottom of B tier and move Odagiri to top of C. I'll do that. That'll be my compromise, because Odagiri was something I didn't necessarily feel like was a chore, but at times, like, there was a lot of nothing happening. So, Chihiro over Fuka? I mean, Chihiro is over Fuka in my list too, so you're not wrong, Gloom. But yeah, I'll put Fuka at bottom of B. She will be at bottom of B no matter what. And no matter what, I think she'll be bottom of B. But I don't think she's the best navigator, though, if we're going to compare it to other navigators. Personally, I think Fuka's the best navigator, both gameplay-wise and also as an overall character arc. I think Fuka is the strongest navigator. And then And then I think it's a hard sell between Rise and Fuka IMO, but that's not the discussion. We'll do Ken next. Ken actually surprised me. I'm gonna put him in B tier though. I'll put him right underneath. I'll put him above Ryoji. I'm gonna put Ken in B tier. I'm putting him in B tier, top of B tier, right? It's not bottom, it's not top. Ken, I ended up liking Ken a lot more, right? I think my issue was that, like, I wanted him to be more of a kid. And I know his whole shtick is that, like, he's trying to act more mature and more like an adult on purpose. So that way he can, you know, seem more mature. And I ended up actually, like, had fun when I hung out with Ken. And I think it also helps that, like, I really liked Justine's performance as Ken, too. She killed it. But yeah, I like Ken a good chunk. I think his character arc, especially after Shinji's death, starts to hit a lot harder. You know? And he really opens up to everybody. Not just, like, to the player, but to the entire party as we get closer to Shinji's, like, death and after Shinji's death. Which I think is the healthiest thing for him. Am I salty that I didn't do all of his Link episodes so I couldn't fuse Orpheus Telos because I couldn't fuse Michael, which you need to do all of Ken's Link episodes in order to do? Absolutely. Does that have any barring in me choosing to put him here? Maybe, but not really. No, not really. So, but I think Ken being in top of B is pretty solid. I think that's pretty solid. We'll do Junpei. Now, Junpei's kind of a hard one, honestly. Junpei's kind of a hard one. The reason why I say Junpei's kind of a hard one is because I like Junpei a lot more than I ever did when I was playing original Persona 3 FPS. And that has to do with Xeno, because Xeno made me fucking care about Junpei. Xeno's so good. Xeno, oh, the other thing is too, and I'm comparing the two performances. Previous VA does not sound like a teenager. He doesn't. He sounds like a grown-ass man as Junpei. Xeno as Junpei sounds like a fucking teenager, acts like a teenager, says stupid shit like a teenager, makes me love him more. Right? So I think because Xeno overall embodies Junpei better as a character, right? I do think I'm going to put him bottom of A. I liked him more than Ken, but there's a lot of things going against Junpei too. Don't get me wrong. I think he eases up on a lot of his problematic red flags post Chidori because he realizes, oh, the girl I love's life is gone, and it's kind of with me, and that's why my persona even evolved in the first place, was because Medea and Hermes fused together to make Trismegistus. Yeah. I hated Junpei in the OGs. I kind of did too. I feel bad that I didn't use Junpei that much, just because he's prone to miss a lot. And doesn't have much coverage. But I feel like when Junpei is shown as both a friend and as a character, and I think the thing that I found the most appealing about Junpei as a whole was his character arc. Him literally growing up. Right? Him literally growing up is what makes a huge difference. Huge difference in me liking him as much as he does. And it's not until, like, the person he loves dying and him understanding that it's okay to feel what he wants to feel and that his life isn't his own anymore and that he needs to basically carry that weight and live for not just himself but for the person he loved, especially at, like, 16, 17 years old. That shit ain't... That's respectable. The reason why he's not any higher than, like, bottom of A is because... Bro is a horny teenager. And I wish he would stop being a horny teenager sometimes. He's, like, arguably worse than Kenji in some respects. When he's like, hey, Yuka-tan, look at you. And he's like, oh, God. Oh my God. Yeah. You know, like, he's too horny. Too much. Right? And, like, him and Ryoji became friends because they're both stupidly horny. So, but that aside, Junpei's basically like, I'm giving Junpei like an 89.5, right? Which is an A when you round up. But, so depending on who you ask, he would either be top of B or just barely A. I'm going to give him just barely A. I'm going to give him just barely A. That's normal teenager hormones. Not every teenager is a fucking horny monster, dude. But yeah, I think, like Loom said, he doesn't have the best influences around him either, but his growth is amazing. And I think that's what puts him up there for me. We'll do Yukari next. Yukari, I think, is like... I think Yukari's, probably... I'll put Yukari, like, right here. Yeah. I think Yukari's character arc is what's making me put her up here. That's my big thing. That is my #1 reason why I'm putting Yukari so high. I really like her character arc in terms of, like, one, learning that... becoming nicer to everybody. Not being as standoffish. I like how she became friends with Mitsuru. I love how she was able to understand why her dad died. Come to terms with it, and find a reason to keep fighting and keep living, essentially. And I just liked how, also, her social link shows a lot of her character growth, too, because she's an average teenager. She's really cute. She's sweet when she wants to be. But she also knows to stand up for herself, which is also really good. And yeah. I think the fact that she eventually was able to kind of reconcile with her mom was really, really fun. And really, really cool. And it speaks a lot about her character. She's a very strong individual. Very strong individual. And she showed a lot of growth and signs of that as well. So I think Yukari goes through a really good arc. And it's some stuff that I can relate to. So. Akihiko. Akihiko's definitely going in A. You know, Akihiko can join Koromaru in the goodest play. No, I'll put Akihiko right above Shinji. Right above Shinji. No, actually, because of what I experienced, right? Because of what I experienced, I'll put him in S tier. I'll put him in S tier. I'll put him in S tier. I ended up falling in love with Akihiko, platonically. Like a bro. Like a bro. Like a bro. Yeah, I'm gonna put him above Bebe. You know, actually, it feels kind of wrong to grade him against these guys, but Maiko's just so sweet. I need to put her. I think to be safe, yeah, we'll put Akihiko right here. I think him being in S tier above Bebe is really good. Alejandro Sayu, phenomenal job. Absolutely fucking phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal job. So good. So good. Nope, we haven't done Igus yet. I'm saving 2 people for the last to rank. And I'm sure you can probably guess who they are out of this. And it's because they're going to be amazing talking points about the game. They're going to be really, really good talking points about the game as a whole. Specifically the last one I'm going to rank. But yeah, Akihiko's storyline about wanting to become stronger, you know, facing himself, calling himself out on his own bullshit, you know, wanting to be stronger, not just for himself, but for the people he's lost along the way. And realizing that, like, you know, true strength doesn't just mean physical strength. It means strength of the heart. It means the strength to understand that you're not perfect. You know? So, yeah. I think he definitely deserves S tier. This might be harsh by everyone I feel, but everyone I feel owes Alejandro an apology for how they treated him when they announced him as Akihiko. I'm not mistaken, people were awfully rude. A lot of fans were. And I made a tweet on my main account saying, like, hey, like, show me, like, mob mentality when you haven't heard performance. Like, show me a better example of mob mentality. I won't lie, a lot of times when it comes to, like, new casts in things, nostalgia bias is a huge thing. And I was, not to say I was hesitant, I was excited to hear what my friends were going to do in this game, right? As somebody who's played Persona for years and years and years, I heard a lot of new voices, and I was like, yo, let's go, those are my friends. And a lot of time I was like, I wonder how they're going to do. I don't know how I'm going to react because of my nostalgia. Because I played this game, I've seen these characters before. You know, how am I going to feel? And I think everybody did a fucking fantastic job. Alejandro is definitely one of the... Alejandro and Zeno are definitely, like, two of the standout performances. Absolutely. Those two are definitely two of the standout performances, I think, in this game, objectively. If you say otherwise, you're fucking wrong. Alejandro, especially when Akihiko is talking to Shinji after he passes, and he's at the school funeral, or the school service, right? Fucking killed it. Absolutely killed it. And next time I see him, which will be in, like, 2 weeks, I'm gonna tell him that he fucking made me cry, and I'm gonna kick his ass. But yeah, I think a lot of people just heard what they heard in the trailers, and were like, ew, that's not Liam O'Brien, what the fuck? And basically just didn't give it a second chance. The other thing is, too, is that I feel like once Akihiko actually joins your party and you get to know him as a character, Alejandro is given more room to play Akihiko as a character, because that's what he's intended to be. So, yeah. So, but, yeah. Unfortunately, Beanie, what you're talking about, I also agree. Sometimes those things are out of our control. So, but, you know, some things are out of control. But, yeah, everybody did a great job in this game. I think objectively, you can't say there's a bad performance in this game. And if you do, it's a subjective opinion. And, like, you can have that subjective opinion, but I think everybody's good. Everybody. And Mitsuru. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Oops, no. That stays this. New tier. New tier. Now, is this bias? Yes. This is almost solely because of her social link. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. 1,000,000% because of her social link. 1,000,000% because of her social link. Absolutely. Absolutely because of her social link. Mitsuru's social link, in my opinion, is one of the best social links in the game. The only downside is that it unlocks so late into the game, right? But, and obviously when it comes to your 3 female party members, you have to max out your 3 social stats to hang out with them. And so it comes with the caveat that you need to max out your fucking intelligence or your academics in order to even hang out with Mitsuru. But I really think Mitsuru's social link really showed a huge change in character for her. Huge change in character. I think she has probably one of the more profound arcs next to, like, Yukari, right? In social links for actual growth. And the fact that she stands up for the pro tag when her arranged partner is shitting on you is one of the best moments in, I think, all the social links in this game. Also, good night, Beanie. The fact that she stands up for you and is, like, defending you is so palpable. It felt so real. And also, I think out of almost every other romanceable option in this game next to Aigis, Mitsuru falling for the pro tag felt the most natural. Absolutely felt the most natural. And yes, I do have my bias. Mitsuru is one of my favorites as well. Good night, Beanie. Thanks again. Mitsuru became one of my favorites. She was in my final party against Nyx. I used her as often as I could. I think Mitsuru is probably my favorite C's member, or one of my favorite C's members. I legitimately very much enjoy her social link. A lot of it was daddy issues after dad dying, and I'm like, yo, she just like me for real. But also, I thought it was cute how you start off by, like, having these very small, normal interactions with her about showing her what it's like to be a normal kid, not just somebody who was raised on riches and stuff like that, you know? And then it evolves beyond that very, very naturally. It's like, hey, like, I'm going to open up to you about this stuff. Like, you ever think about this sort of stuff? You know, just getting on your motorcycle and running away? Going someplace where nobody knows your name? Especially for a 17, 18-year-old who's going to be fresh in college, having the entire pressure of having to possibly run her family's company because she's the sole inheritor, or the sole heir, rather. Like, she comes to gripes with that, and it's not easy. So, I really like Mitsuru. I think probably she's my best girl. Excluding one character. And that's Aigis. Aigis, honest to God. Honest to fucking God. Aigis is probably the best character in the game. I think Aigis deserves the world. She's so innocent, so sweet, and her journey from being what she thinks and perceives to only be a machine with only very limited understanding to becoming something more than that. To becoming this evolution of what, you know, a machine with a psyche, with a metaphorical heart, into something more human is so touching. Is so touching. And I have to give so much credit to Dawn. I really do. And I texted Dawn at like 3 in the morning before I went to sleep last night, saying like, fuck you for making me cry. You did so good. So good. And she was like, thank you. I was so worried. I'm like, dude, props to you. You did so fucking good. So good. Oh my god. I absolutely love Aigis. In my opinion, I also believe her to be the canon romance choice for the protagonist. It feels arguably more... It feels the most natural for both the protag as a character and Aigis. Mitsuru, like, Mitsuru's, you know, sort of journey into falling in love with the protagonist feels the most natural for her, right? It feels the most natural for her. And for Aigis, it feels right. It feels right. You know? So, yeah. It just feels right. It just feels right. So, Aigis was a phenomenal character who I, honest to God, did not expect to fall in love with. I truly, truly fell in love with Aigis' story. It's so good. So good. I really want, even if you know what happens, to just experience it yourself. To spend the time with her in your own playthrough. It feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good to experience that, especially knowing the ending. Especially knowing the ending, seeing how her and the protagonist spend those last moments together. It means a lot. It speaks volumes. When she's like, you can rest now. You can close your eyes, you can rest. So. And then, last is the protagonist. As a character. So, the protagonist as a character is something I really wanted to talk about. Because I've mentioned it before. Like, and very in passing for the most part, right? Sorry, I was checking something. Alright, cool, we're chilling. I'm catching up my notifications here. 1 second. dupe. Cool. Get rid of that. Cool. And what I noticed really was that the protagonist really feels like they are a traumatic character, which makes sense, right? Knowing what we know about the protagonist. And towards the very beginning of the game, towards the inciting incidents, when our protagonist character, when, you know, our mom and dad dies, right, when we're a child. That is like the inciting incident of our trauma as a character, which I think closes us off. When Igus seals in the appraiser, seals in death into the protagonist. I think that is a good indicator for why we are the way that we are. A lot of unprocessed grief. A lot of just keeping to ourselves. A lot of stuff that we don't know necessarily about what happens in between those 10 years. For all we know, we could have just been thrown between family. Not having a mom and a dad and not really having any connections. Feeling alone. I think that really shows a lot on the protagonist. And when you think about the choices you make in all of the social links, even in stuff like Suimitsu, in Tanaka, in Kenji, in social links that I don't necessarily like, right? Even like ones that like you should be calling people out on their stuff with Kaz. You always choose the answers that they want to hear, right? You don't choose the answers that you actually think they should be hearing to really deepen your friendship. You choose the answers that they want to hear until it gets to a point, right? Until it gets to a point where, you know, you do have to call them out on it because it's detrimental to them as a character, to them as a human being, right? With Nozomi, that happens at rank 9. It happens at rank 9 when you basically tell him, like, what, are you going to scam more people again? And then you go to, like, check on him, and he's like, thank you, you still care, because we still care a little bit. We're calling him out, but we still care about him. Kenji, it sucks that we sort of support him, but we want to make sure we value that friendship. We keep it tight to our chest, because we don't have that many connections. Protagonist is to himself, not only just because he is a traumatized child, but because of that, and he's so to himself, he's such a blank slate that he really does embody the Fool, the Arcana of the Fool, limitless potential, because of the fact that he could become whatever he wants to be. And each of the social links kind of shows that, you know? Like, with Bebe, genuinely becomes a supportive individual. With Maiko, becomes a friend that's like, you know, he encourages her to do what she thinks is right, and it works out in the end, even though detrimentally, you shouldn't be saying, yes, you should run away, right? Thank you for the hydrate. With, who else? With Maya, you just listen to Maya bitch and moan, and you're like, oh yeah, you do this, you do that, like, he just listens, and that's what she needed to hear. Odagiri, you sort of just bear witness to him, you agree with what he knows is right, like, oh yeah, no, I think that's too harsh to do something like that. He's like, yeah, I agree. You're agreeing with him, you're inflating your ego. Tanaka, you're listening to him give you life advice, and you're guessing correctly what he thinks he wants you to hear, right? Yeah? Cool. We'll get. What was I saying? Yeah, and so protagonist is just listening to Tanaka. He's like, I guess I can learn some stuff from him. It's like, what else can I really do? Like, I paid 40,000 yen. He's curious. He gets a connection. He doesn't want to lose it. And, you know, him sort of falling in love with Igus makes sense because he sees that sort of growth from somebody similar to him. Someone who doesn't fully emote, doesn't understand emotion, expression, anything like that. right? And then he's able to foster and find what love is as well, you know? So that's why I think the protagonist is such a good match for Aegis, especially considering the ending, which, you know, I'm sure we'll talk about the ending in particular as well here in a little bit. But yeah, I think the protagonist as a character, I don't like the fact that he's a people pleaser. There's a reason to explain it why, right? And this is just my theory. This is my headcanon. This is just my headcanon. And I'm going to create a tier in between C and B. That's just going to be called protagonist. We're going to give him this, like, deeper blue, violet-like. I want to put him right here smack dab in the middle of kind of, like, the upper rankings, right? Because he really is a blank slate, but there is an explanation as to why he's, like, so quiet, so, I guess, emo, you might say, right? Because he can be whatever he wants to be. He just needs to realize it himself, because he is a deeply traumatized individual. Losing your parents and being the only survivor out of that accident, that shit's not cool. So, explain things normally my HDS would be so confused. I have my moments. And I've thought a lot about this. I actually had a discussion with some friends before about this. So, but yeah, I think the protagonist, you can't, what's up, Abertach? The protagonist learns from his social links. He becomes a fuller person because of them. His connections with C's, his connections with everybody he makes friends with, good and bad, right? You know, like, we can all say Tanaka is an objectively bad person, and he kind of is, but, you know, he values that connection because he was able to also make an impact on a bad person, right? He made Tanaka realize that, like, hey, you know, maybe taking an interest in some other people's, like, development as an individual isn't such a bad thing to do. You know, he did it with me. Do it for other people. And then he makes, like, a couple million yen in, like, donation, right? And he's like, you know, I kind of liked it. For whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. Also, don't associate with me anymore. Tanaka started looking out for him. Actively. Like, he kind of cared. And regardless of how bad of a person Tanaka is, you know, like, he still keeps that connection. Which is kind of insane, you know? But yeah, I think the protagonist is probably in between, if we were to rank him as a character, in between C and B. But he deserves his own rank in between there, just because the protagonist can be whatever you want him to be. You can play him to be more emo. You can play him to be like how I did, a little more heroic, a little more like a little piece of shit sometimes, you know? I think the protagonist game really does symbolize what it means to be the fool. Not from the sense of being a blank slate, but from the sense of, like, there is potential for you to be whatever you want to be because of who he is as a person. Right? So, I genuinely think this protagonist is definitely up there. Which is going to lead me into talking about the ending of the game. So, if you guys remember, for anybody who's tuning in, for anybody who's playing the game, right? Towards the end of the game, as you're, you know, going into the core of Nyx, which is the fucking moon, which is insane. Your party members give you their strength. You're able to fight back death multiple times because you have cultivated the universe, which is the 23rd Arcana. Technically, it's like the 24th because you have the Judgment, the Aeon, and the World all encompassing the 20th slot, or the 20th card on the Arcana, right? But the 24th or the 21st Arcana in terms of its card is the universe, which is all-encompassing. And the protagonist in this game, Makoto Yuki, is canonically the only character in all of Persona to ever harness the power of the universe as an Arcana. Igor says it himself. He never thought he would ever see that card. Every other game you play, Persona 4. You get to the end of the game, Izanagi transforms into Izanagi no Okami. The world. Not the universe, the world. Persona 5. Satanael is technically, I think, the judgment. I think he is. I'll fact check that real quick. Let me fact check that. No, he's technically, no, not even. Satanael is the fool. Satanael is the fool still. Actually. Interesting. Yeah, he is the fool. So, the Persona 5 protagonist doesn't even truly unlock the judgment, you know, like the power of the world, because he harnesses what it means to be the fool. So he's able to obtain the power of limitless potential via Satanael, by returning, the decision of humanity's fate to it themselves, right? But the Persona 3 protagonist is also canonically the strongest protagonist. But if you paid extra close attention to the last action you ever do in battle in this game against the next core, it was to summon the Great Seal. And its cost was all of our HP, which in our case was all 677 HP. And if you remember the ending, how it just kind of fades to white, we can choose to close our eyes. It fades to white, and our fate's kind of left ambiguous. But it's pretty heavily implied that the protagonist dies. That the protagonist gave his life to seal away Nyx. It's heavily implied, and for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much canon that we die. We just held on for as long as we could because we made a promise. Made a promise to meet up on graduation day again, to celebrate the fact that we prevented the fall from happening. And then we die in Aigis' lap. Our strength waning. That's why on March 4th, almost every single social link that we see and run into comments on how we don't look so good. Because our strength is fading. And he held out for as long as he could, just to make sure he could see his friends one last time. And Aigis knows that too. Aigis is the only person that, one, remembered everything. That remembers everything in its entirety. But also realized that that's what he did. She realizes that he technically shouldn't even really, that he's going to die. And that's why she encourages him to close his eyes, because he did the one thing that nobody else expected him to do. He realized that giving his life to save the world, to save humanity, it was the correct call. It's really, really quite sad. So yeah. So the protagonist does die. And, if for all of our original Persona 3 fans, in chat, there is an extended epilogue in Persona 3 FES that its canonicity is kind of up in the air now, but I like to think that it's canon. Or if they are going to make, or if they're going to address it in Persona 3 Reload, that they do a good job with it. It's called, there's an epilogue that is like an extra 20 to 30 hours of gameplay that takes place a few days after the protagonist dies and graduation day comes, called The Answer. The main bulk of Persona 3 FES is called The Journey, which, if you pay attention, if you pay attention to what Nyx was saying to us, what the Nyx avatar was saying to us, a lot of what he said was the journey. The journey. The journey. The journey. The journey was what we went through. It wasn't about the destination. It was about the journey. And the journey the protagonist went through was probably the best thing he could have had asked for in terms of a fulfilling life, outside of, you know, including even the losses. He cultivated some of the closest friendships he could have ever wanted, and then some. And he learned what it meant to, you know, to love again. To feel, I like to think. A lot of people have issues with the answer. Some people feel the writing was kind of out of character for a lot of the cast. Some people just don't like how they over-explain things. They like the ambiguity of the ending. And it feels like even the writers at Atlas don't fully understand the answer, and they don't acknowledge it, yet at the same time they do. Because the Persona 4 Arena games feature the older versions of the P3 cast as, like, you know, young adults to adults. Like, Ken's in it. Ken and Koromaru are a character. Mitsuru, Aigis, Akihiko are all playable in the first game, and in the second game you get Junpei, Yukari, Ken. Am I missing anybody? No, that's everybody. Right? Yeah, because they make Ken and Koromaru one character, and then Fuka is there too, but she's just Navigator. She doesn't fight. And Elizabeth is also present as well in Persona 4 Arena and Arena Ultimax. Primarily in Arena is her plot a lot more important, because I haven't touched on Elizabeth too much. It's very heavily implied that Elizabeth actually legitimately fell in love with the protagonist as well. And it's kind of apparent, too. She does ask you to teach her how to fuck. I mean, that's putting it very crassly, right? She does, you know, ask you to show you how things are done. She understands what it means to be in a gentleman's room and be asked to be there. She's like, I'd like for you to show me how things are done. She does ask that. She does indeed ask that. Whether or not it's actually for, like, you know, doing the do, or if it's for, like, just kissing or something else like that, it's kind of left up to interpretation, but, you know, you can think is, you know, they asked to, you know, teach me how to fuck. I don't know. But it's heavily implied that Elizabeth does fall in love with the protagonist. Genuinely so. And it kind of feels like that as well, because she's like, she even says to you on her the last time that you can take her out of the Velvet Room, which also, her visits outside the Velvet Room were an FES exclusive, and I'm so glad they kept that in for this game. If I remember correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was a feature they added in FES. Elizabeth even says the reason why she wanted to hang out and go see more of the world was, you know, beyond just pure curiosity. She wanted to learn more about the protagonist. You know? She wants to learn more about what the protagonist does, and she finds it being more comforting being in places that he frequents, because she feels as though she truly feels no greater pleasure than being close to the protagonist. Right? So yeah. And it's probably doing the do because Margaret has a much lighter reaction when kissing you. That is also very true. That's also very true. For as Dami Mommy as Margaret presents herself, she is also quite vanilla. But yeah. So it's heavily implied that Elizabeth falls in love with the protagonist. Regardless of, like, you know, which canon sort of thing was genuine from what I interpreted from Reactions P3 and more from what was shown in the answer and the reason why she shows up in P4 Arena. Exactly! I'm not going to touch too much on Arena because I don't want to talk too much about the answer. I know about what happens in the answer. Not the super specifics, but I know generally what happens. And I'm kind of like 50-50 on it. I need to actually, like, play through it myself to understand it. From a gameplay perspective, I think the answer is stupidly hard for no reason. But I'm not going to talk too much about what the answer presents because there are leaks and rumors from, like, you know, people from trusted sources in the community that there's going to be, like, an episode Aegis or an answer DLC for Reload, which I personally would like to see them put in the answer and probably fix a lot of the issues with it, IMO, but that's neither here nor there. I would like to see that because it's a good evolution to see how Aegis grows as a character post the answer. or post vanilla game, because her character arc there is actually kind of cool to see, and I like to see how Dawn would tackle it, but I don't know. We don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. But yeah. So, all that to say is that this game's really cool. This game is super duper cool. I genuinely really enjoyed the fact that I got to play this game, and I streamed it. I'm really glad. And I got to stream it and share the experience playing this game with so many awesome people. I'm glad I got to show it to some of my mods. Glad I got to trying to do share it with new people, getting new people into the community and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just really cool to be able to share this with y'all. Y'all are cool. I love y'all. So this game has made me question the meaning of life. Yes, this game makes you think a lot. This game, in terms of the grand scheme of the Persona games, between 3, 4, and 5, this game definitely is the most depressing. This game objectively is the most depressing. It's the most depressing, but it's also probably the saddest one too, I want to say. As like a vanilla package, right? Persona 4 makes you cry, or / makes me cry, primarily because of the connection you make with the cast. I absolutely adore Persona 4 for its cast, primarily. I think that cast as a whole, I have a lot more attachment to. You know, bias, there's bias in there because Persona 4 was my first Persona that I beat. And I admittedly didn't like Persona 3 FES as much when I was playing it, because I wanted it to be Persona 4 instead. But I think plot-wise, objectively, Persona 3 probably has the best cast. Probably. And then I think in terms of overall best plot, I think it goes, for me, 3, 5, 4. Not to say that they're all bad at all. And that this is taking, like... no worries, Jay. Thank you for stopping on by for a little bit. I think my ranking for story goes 3, 5, 4. And this is taking the, like, expanded editions, right? So I'm going to count Reload as its own package. As its own package here. Because I do think Reload is probably is objectively the best way to play Persona 3 now. Absolutely. And then 5, Royal. The new content in Royal makes it so worth it. Maruki and Yoshizawa, literally amazing. Sobbed my eyes out multiple times. So good. So good. If you have not played Persona 5 Royal, and after you've played vanilla Persona 5, do it. It's worth the price point. And I implore you, play it. And then 4, I think 4's overall plot is intriguing. It's really good, but I think it's more of a, it is more of a character-driven story, I want to say. Seeing what the characters go through. Yeah, I think it's more about how the characters grow from what they're going through, and the themes of that really sell that game's story. But I think in terms of overall enjoyment, in terms of like intensity, I think 3 and then 5. So if I want to talk about favorite cast, that's kind of hard to do, because I'd have to do a whole other tier list to sort of like weigh my options. So throwing out that I finished Reload. Fuck yeah, baby! Next on my Persona playlist is gonna be fucking Tactica, because I bought Tactica, but I have not even taken it out of its shrink wrap. Just because I bought it at such an awkward time on sale. I was like, oh, Persona 5 Tactica. I should buy this as a Persona 5 fan, and I haven't touched it yet. I will get to it eventually. But yeah. In terms of setting, I think 5 has the best setting just because it's probably the best gameplay-wise. Any plans to give Persona 1 or 2 a try? No. Persona 1 especially not. Persona 1 has no interest to me. I already know the plot synopses and have seen multiple playthroughs of Persona 1 and 2. 2, I would love to see a remaster of to play the specifics. And I hope that the rumors about them making a remaster for Persona 2, Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment has me super excited. Because I would love to experience those games. I would love to experience those games, even if I know generally what the plot is about, right? I would love to experience those games. Plus, Persona 2 has one of the only canonically gay main characters. Or at least bisexual. I think more so gay. Probably gay. In terms of gameplay, they're way too clunky for me. And too drastically different. Persona 1's a purebred dungeon crawler, but also the plot in Persona 1, outside of, like, one ending, is kind of ass. IMO. It's kind of eh. It's good, but it's eh. Comparatively to other stuff that you could be playing, it feels pretty safe. Persona 2, on the other hand, I know has a fucking bomb-ass story. Both the games have a bomb-ass story. I was more familiar with Innocent Sin as opposed to Eternal Punishment, which Innocent Sin's the first one, right? Either way, I think Innocent Sin's the first one. Yeah, so I know more about Innocent Sin than I do Eternal Punishment. But I learned more about Eternal Punishment, I'm like, yo, that's sick as fuck. But yeah, I'm more of a fan of the modern Persona formula. So, IMO, in my opinion. I'm more of a modern Persona fan than I am of a older Persona fan, because I like the, just because I like the gameplay loop a lot better. Persona 1's really only a good story if you're invested in the cast. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Otherwise, it just foreshadows 2. Yeah, because Persona 1 and 2 were kind of going in a whole other different direction with, gods being more presently active and being the sole reason for the conflict, being like a chess game, which is kind of fucked, and I'm glad they kind of did away with that to a point. But, spoilers. But yeah, I think Persona 3 Reloaded was a really good game. I honestly think it was really, really good. I have some gripes just about the social links as a whole, but that's more telling of the kind of game Persona 3 was than what Reload as a product is, if you know what I mean. Persona 2 Remake and make it more approachable for new fans. I think that'd be smart, so that way you could actually learn more about the cast outside of just, the plot happening. So, I don't know, there's lots they could do with Persona 2. Lots that they could do. But, sorry. Just rubbing my eyes real quick. Yeah. Your boy is tired, so we won't be streaming for super long today. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do something. I can't do it now. Never mind. Yeah, so a lot of my my problems with Persona 3 Reload are problems with Persona 3 structurally. And that's because a lot of the times you hang out with the social links, a lot of the times it's just a whole lot of nothing, which is kind of shitty. But that's just kind of how it is, They're just... Thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate it. It is just really telling that this game was sort of like... There was a lot of effort put into it, but at the same time, they were experimenting with the social links, because this was something entirely new at the time for the team to work on. So, I think the fact that they ended up going for sometimes really invested, really, interesting, every single time you'd hang out with them, progressions in character, or, challenges to see and learn more about this person was cool. Sometimes there's oh, you're at rank 5. What do I get out of this? What do I get out of this? Cool, I learned that they like to cook. And that's it. Huh? I'm sorry? Is that it? There's nothing else really to tell? I won't lie. Suimitsu's, whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Tanaka's, whole lot of nothing. Fuka's actually had a couple of, very nothing experiences. you know, almost all these had very nothing. Chihiro had like 1 or 2. Bebe's was pretty cute. Sorry, Red had to tell me something. You know, and I think it was later in the game, as you unlock more social links, they start to get a little more interesting with the writing on every single visit. I think Mitsuru and Aigis, while Aigis feels like sometimes she had a lot of nothing going on, for her, that nothing is a lot. As compared to, like, you know, quote-unquote normal people, like, say, Mitsuru, Mutatsu, Bebe, you know, what might feel like a nothing, nothing rank up is a lot more significant to Aigis since she literally is becoming more human. And so her learning these things, experiencing these things, asking these questions, what feels like nothing is a big deal to her. Comparatively to, like, hanging out with Bukichi and Mitsuko, who are sweet, but sometimes I'm just visiting just because I want to. I'm visiting my grandparents, you know? So, but that's my main issue with Persona 3, is primarily that, with the social links in particular. With the social links in particular, sometimes there's a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing, which sucks. Which really, really sucks. And it's like, cool, I feel like I wasted my time, even though I'm getting, like, a reward from doing this, which is ranking up. So, it's unfortunate, but that's just the style of game it was. They definitely improved it going forward, where they, especially in Persona 4 and 5, made actual, like, plot through lines that were present throughout the entire social link. Persona 5 especially, because Persona 5 is sort of like, yeah, Joker is getting something out of this directly, and every time you rank, almost every other time you rank up that social link or that confidant, you're getting a direct gameplay benefit out of it. Like, if you talk to Hifumi, who is the shogi girl, she literally gives you gameplay mechanics that you feel like should be already included in the game, but that's not the discussion. She gives you gameplay mechanics that let you swap out your party members mid-battle without taking up a turn, amongst other things. Talking to the gun kid, it teaches you how to better use your gun. What else? The fortune teller lady will actually help you out with a lot of stuff. She gives you fortune telling stuff that'll either, like, increase, like, a stat up. It will increase your affection with one person or another, or stuff like that, you know? The nurse, the hot nurse, goth nurse, you go spend more time with her, you will actively get discounts from her. Spend more time with the gun dude, who sells you, like, your weapons and shit. They're just replicas, though. Ha ha ha. You spend more time with him, you'll get bigger discounts. He'll do other stuff for you, you know? Persona 4, the focus was more on the plot being more interesting as you spent time with your social links, right? So, doing that makes it more interesting, because you learn something every single time you hang out with them about their character and about their problem that's going to lead them to their growth. Persona 5 has that as well. Persona 3 feels like it's picking and choosing when it wants to do that, right? It feels like you could learn something new, or a character might, like, you know, show that they have a problem, or it's just like, oh, I like to knit, and that's totally not related at all to my overall character arc. Rank up, you know? So, it's sort of like it's very of the time, very 2006, as opposed to, like, learning how to make things better. Another problem I have with Persona 3 as a game, not indicative of Reload's quality, the fact that fucking academics takes 4 times as many points to max out than your other 2 social stats. Oh my god. I hate it. I actively hate it. I hate that so much. I think that probably fucked with me getting to hang out with some people, because I was trying to up my academics, and I did it right before we went back to school after summer break. Oh, another thing. Let me hang out with my school social links during my off days. Please. God, that's so annoying, because at the end of the game, I had a whole lot of nothing to do. Let me fucking hang out with Yuko on a day off during summer vacation and actually rank her up. let me hang out with, like, Fuka, all these other people. Why can I only hang out with them when school is in session? For the clubs, I get it, because you kind of have to, like, hang out during, like, that. Or give me more social links that I can do on days where I don't have school. Because let's count the amount of social links that, like, you can only do during school, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where else? Oh, 8. Oh, the music's over. Let me start up again. Um, 8. Yeah, about 8 of your social links you can only do while spending time in school. Oh, Kenji. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It literally half of your social links in this game you cannot hang out with if you have a day off from school. Right? You cannot hang out with them if you have no school. Meanwhile, characters like Mutatsu, he's only able to be hung out with night. Tanaka's only be able to hang out with night. You only have 2 night social links you ever have to worry about in this game. Mamoru you can hang out with on any day because he has his own schedule because he doesn't go to school with you. Maya you can only hang out with on Sundays or days off. Akinari is a Sunday-only social link. Maiko you can hang out with only on 3 days during the week. I guess you can hang out with only at school as well. That makes 11, actually. But she is available to be hung out with every single day because she's exclusively for the end of the game. Bukichi and Mitsuko are available every single day except for Monday. And no, Suimitsu is available every single fucking day. So, Odagiri is only available Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Oh, not to mention you can't hang out with your school social links when you fucking have exams coming up the next following week, which I get, but still sucks. So, and that's, again, this is all indicative of what Persona 3 was as a game when it came out in 2006, and this being a remaster, pretty much honoring in its entirety what Persona 3 did, in terms of its gameplay loop, in terms of its mechanics, stuff like that. And it's fun. It's still not bad. I wish it was better, or they fixed some things, but, you know, they can't change the writing too much. You know? But my hope is for the future of Persona, right? I hope that for Persona 6... also, hold on one second, chat. There we go. I hope that for Persona 6, we are not high school students. I hope we're college students. Because IMO, college would make the gameplay loop more fun. It gives more creativity to the player. And also, you can not feel awkward about liking a character, because more than likely, they'll at least be 18 and they'll be fucking legal. You know? You don't have to feel awkward about saying, I want Mitsuru to step on me in a game where she's 18. As opposed to this game where she's like 17. Let me actually fact check that. I'm pretty sure she's 17. Okay, she turns 18 over the course of Persona 3. Show. Unreal Engine 4 or 5. Oh, Persona 3 Reload was running on Unreal Engine. So. But yeah, Mitsuru does technically turn 18 because her birthday is May 8th. So she does turn 18 during the game. So technically, she's an adult, but she's still a student, so it still feels weird. Yeah, she turns 18 very early into the game. Social Link is available, she's 18. Technically, by the time her Social Link's available, she's almost gonna be 19. It's a couple months until she turns 19. Because the game takes place in 2009. Her birthday is May 8th, 1991. So she turns, before she even joins the party, she turns 18. So, but by the time you can do her Social Link, she is 18. Akihiko is probably the same. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure. Akihiko Sonata. Akihiko. Yeah, Akihiko turns 18 in September. So. And then. God, the glow up for Akihiko is insane too. Like, look at this. I'm gonna pull this window on the screen. This is his reload art, right? This is OG P3 art. Look at that. Look at how rough that is in comparison, dude. Like this to that. So, such a glow up. Such a glow up. Such a glow up. But yeah. Looks so much better. And then by the time Persona 4 Arena comes around, he's 20. He looks much older than the original. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I think that was to make the distinction that they were third years, so they were more adult than the rest of the cast. And I'm even gonna fact check. Junpei Iori. Pretty sure Junpei is 16 to 17. Yeah. Junpei turns 17 literally towards the end of the game. He literally turns 17 during during January, during the last month of the game. Yukari, I'm pretty sure is the same. Yukari. 16 to 17, yeah. She doesn't turn 17 until October. Disney, thank you for the follow. Hello. And then, Persona... Well, let me type in Makoto Yuki. Jump for 16-year-old, yep. And then in Persona 3... Yep. And, yeah, date of birth is supposed to be, like, late 1992 to early 1993, because protagonist, by the end of Persona 3, should be 17. So, yeah. Oh, you wanna know something that's kind of sad? To kind of also show his, part of Protag's, sort of, you know, openness and shit like that for being a good person. His blood type's O. He's a universal donor. He's a universal donor. That's kind of fun. That's really cool. So yeah. Sorry, taking a schwiggity schwig. That's really cool. All right, let me get that out of here. But yeah, so yeah, Persona 3 Reload, really good game. Really good game. It's had a lot more of a profound impact on me than I thought it was going to. I'm honestly quite shocked that I was able to hold such a, be able to talk about this game for 2.5 hours, mostly on like my own. And yeah, I like admittedly was, using a tier list to, help along the way just a little bit, just a little bit to help spark the conversation. I do think that there's a lot to, love about Persona 3 Reload. So how high would I rate it? That's kind of hard, I won't lie. It's a little hard for me to rate it. I want to say... Reload? Probably a 9. Probably a 9 out of 10. I think Reload aesthetically looks amazing. The new cast is great. The gameplay changes are really good. Really good. I think, honestly, that alone is such a buff to this game's credit. Right? I think that... Sorry, Mia's wanting to get into the bathroom. And she's not allowed in right now. The overall story is really good. I never got to finish it, and getting to experience it on my own is really, really cool. Really, really cool. And I'm glad I did. Because even though I knew what was going to happen, because this game has been spoiled to me for a while, that didn't devalue the journey I took to get there. Which I think is the beauty of these games, that you might know how it ends, or you might know the twist, but you don't know what leads up to it. So long as you don't know what the ending is, the impact can still be profound. I knew the twist in Persona 4, but I didn't know anything else leading up to it. And that didn't devalue how that game ended it all to me. At all. So so Persona 3 Reload as a whole, I think, has its ups and downs. You know? I think it's the downs mostly were in some of the gameplay moments, outside of, outside of the, what do I want to say? Outside of the combat. I don't mind the Tartarus loop so much. In Persona 3 FES, in OG versions of Persona 3, I very much mind it. I think it's a lot more difficult, a lot more annoying to go into Tartarus, because there's a mechanic they totally removed from this game called party members' conditions, because party members can feel good, normal, and tired, and that will affect how they perform in combat. And also, if party members die and you don't revive them before leaving a floor in Tartarus, they'll just lay there. They will automatically become unable to continue for the rest of the night, and will need to rest for like a day or two. So if you are going into Tartarus multiple nights in a row, you had to be mindful of your party members' conditions as well. So you could easily screw over yourself. But they got rid of that mechanic in Persona 3 Reload. They also got rid of the mechanic of, they got rid of a couple other mechanics too, but they changed up how Tartarus operates a little bit. They made the floors a lot smaller, I want to say. A lot smaller comparatively, because they would be huge, because Tartarus was kind of originally designed to be like this huge dungeon crawler, right? This huge dungeon crawling thing that you'd go back to multiple times. And you saw how many floors there were. There were over 270 almost, which is insane. And the fact that the game locks you out of exploring like the last like 10, 15 of them is kind of neat. Sucks that they leave a lot of strong shadows for if it was like a shadow compendium or whatever, until the very end. So they made the Reaper more terrifying in the first playthrough. Absolutely. Yes, even though I didn't fight the Reaper at all until I learned Armageddon one-shots him. Totally on accident. So, but yeah. They also changed up how the social links work too. In original Persona 3, this is a very real mechanic, but a very annoying gameplay mechanic. If you didn't spend time with more of your social links could deteriorate and reverse, which is what we saw with Suimitsu, and that's when the Arcana will reverse. And until you fix your fuck up or you reestablish that social link, you can't advance it. And technically, you can't even fuse. I don't think you can fuse personas of that Arcana until you undo that. No, that's only with the girls. Never mind. Yeah, no, you just. I think you lose the bonuses to your fusion bonus when you refuse personas of that Arcana. So it's like, for whatever reason, Suimitsu stayed reversed, I would not get any fusion bonuses from the Moon Arcana. Meanwhile, if you were to, get caught cheating with another girl, if you choose to date them, you can actively break your social link with somebody. And that means you can't fuse personas of that Arcana at all. Ever. Again. You're fucked. Your file's broken. And you can't reestablish that social link. You can only fix a reversed one. You can't fix a broken social link. So, but in original Persona 3 FES, and I think Portable, correct? I had never played Portable, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. You had to constantly hang out with your social links until they maxed out. Otherwise, they would deteriorate, and they had the chance of being reversed. So, they removed that mechanic as well. So, I think it's healthier for the gameplay loop. But yeah, that was really good too that they changed. And I mean, obviously, getting to control your party members, the best fucking decision they could have made ever. Very glad that they did that. But yeah, lots of good things that they changed with Reload. I think I would give Reload like a solid 9. The story and voice acting and core gameplay above all are what really make it there. Most of the social links are really good. There's a couple like ones. But yeah. I think it's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. As you can see. But yeah, I was just checking to see who else was streaming. But yeah. So, I think I'm running out of stuff to rant about Persona 3. If we'd actually beaten the game on its own yesterday, within like 3 hours, I think that would have been a lot more stuff would have been fresh in my mind, right? And then I would have been able to talk a lot more about some stuff. But if you guys have questions or you want to know thoughts, you can also ask. Because I would like to, you know, talk a little bit longer. Don't call it for Portable. It's been a long bit since I played it. Gotcha. In the meantime, while anybody's thinking of questions to ask and stuff like that, in terms of what I want to do, oh, hold on, let me read this real quick. In the OG Persona 3, there's a final boss skip that can be done by waiting to activate Tanaka's link on the last day before you have to go to Tartarus to combat Nyx. What? How does that work? Oh, I can imagine why. That's probably a coding thing, where if you wait to do it on the 30th, right? Wait, no, because can't you still go out in the town the evening before the 31st? No, you can't. You can't. How does that work? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look that up. I'm curious now. Persona 3 final boss skip. Alright. Start the Devil's Social Link in Persona 3 FES to skip the final full moon operation, get the true ending a few hours early. Comments occur first place run. This means sub 20 hours is inevitable. Oh, okay. Fewer deaths, maybe some initial planning. Oh, it's speed running stuff. It's like r/speed run. Work on portable too. Does it work on portable? It does not work on Re3P. The record is strongly. This record is also strongly suspect. As far as I'm aware, no runner has actually seen a full video of it either. The same guy, Rokudo, has also videos where he has potentially used Game Shark or some other kind of software to alter his gameplay. Oh, got it. I see. Apparently it was on GameFAQs like 9 years ago. What the hell? I'm so curious about this now. It was about 9 years ago on GameFAQs, the archives. Alright, cool. So I handled with Tanaka on the last day before last battle. I was thinking that day couldn't possibly end, so I was going to try and max out Tower and Devil. But it ends up being 3-3, and Nyx apparently defeated. I was like, what the fuck, mate? Well, at least I didn't have to put up that annoying party member healing boss back to full health again. I think I've heard some in the P3 game just skipped the in-game anime. Could have a defective disc, I assume. Just bought it a week ago. My sister bought it too, so I'm going to check her game. Nothing bad about it since I saved before last battle, so I can still do last boss fight. Oh, there's nothing else to say about it. That's weird. That's really interesting, though. That's really interesting that exists. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. The more you know. The more you know. But yeah, in terms of, while it's on my mind, in terms of what we're going to be doing for the future, for what we're going to be playing on the channel, I think now, finally, I can go to back to playing Honkai Star Rail, on stream, because I've, one, had a break from it again, and two, I can play through all of Pina Cody in like one setting if I really wanted to. Probably, not likely. A lot of talking, a lot of dialogue. Probably would get very bored very fast. I need to pace that out. And there's still a lot of content I need to unlock. But we can play through Peanut Cone at some point. I do want to get back to Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Because I'm really excited to play that game. So we're definitely get back to playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Because we have a lot more to do on that. I think if I were to do similar streams to Persona with how long it is, I probably could beat the story in like 2 to 3 streams if we did like Persona style streams where I just played it for like 8 hours straight. Not delving into the lore, maybe. I don't want a repeat of that, though, to be honest. So, I think what you might see from me is, tomorrow I probably won't stream. Tuesday, I will stream. And then Wednesday, I might stream. No, I shouldn't stream Wednesday. Yeah, I shouldn't. Because I need to wake up early as hell on Thursday to catch my flight. Because as a reminder to everybody, I'm going to be gone from this Thursday to next Monday. So you won't see any streams from me for almost a week. For like about 5 days. Because again, I'm going to Pensacola to help out a friend at a convention. So, as a reminder for myself, yes. So Thursday to Monday, I'll be gone. And then you might see me Tuesday. You might see me Tuesday. So, I think that's what the game plan is gonna be. It's what the game plan is gonna be. And also, just so you know, no more head. I know a lot of people like the head. I'm going to save head for a little bit longer. So, I kept head and kept giving you guys head throughout Persona because I wanted to remain consistent with the VODs. So if anybody was going to, you know, hang out, watch the VODs on YouTube, or anybody who was discovering me on there, I personally wanted to make sure there was that consistency there. We start off with the PNG, and then we switch over to head. But I think going forward, we're going to ease off the head just because debuts next month. So, maybe I'll bring it out if we get some people who are generous and like, I'm donating for the head. Or I'm like gifting subs for head, you know? I won't put up a sub goal, but if people gift enough subs, I'll be like, okay, you know what? You deserve this. You deserve this. You get some head. But debut is next month. I promise. It will be happening. Do I know when? Not yet. Not at all. I wanted to get something animated. I need to touch base with somebody. I don't think it's going to happen anymore. So I have a backup that I'm going to hire to get something animated for me. So, he's ripping our hearts, so I'm ripping head. Lamau. But debut will be happening next month. I'll be setting a date, and we'll be having a grand old time. So, I can't guarantee when, because next month I also have, I also am going to be gone for about a week, and I might take a trip to Texas. So, yeah. You might not see from me for a little bit. I might be able to stream when I'm dog sitting. I might be able to. No guarantees there. If I do, I'll have to find a Switch game to play. Because I'm going to be disposed of from the 13th to the 18th. And then, yeah. So I'm going to try and pick and choose when I do things then. So, yeah. Mario Kart with a chat. I don't actually own Mario Kart. Funnily enough, I actually don't own Mario Kart. I've not owned a Mario Kart since Mario Kart Wii. But yeah, the thing is I can bring my dock with me. So, and I know that where I'll be staying will have a capture card. So, Fire Emblem's never coming back, let's be real. I'd have to start over for new people. I'm gonna be real with you, Kite. Games I never finished before probably aren't gonna be finished on stream. It'd be weird to just jump in the middle of them. I know of Cult of the Lamb. I do have Cult of the Lamb. Again, when I say I might be able to stream from where I'm staying, I'm going to be away from home. So, yeah. I'm going to be entirely away from home, and I can't really leave to come back home to stream reliably, because I can't leave the pups alone for more than, like, 4 hours, if I can help it, so I need to be careful of that. Also, bye, Aid. Appreciate you. So, yeah. Also, I'm just looking at my schedules and stuff here on the right side. That's why I'm looking over here. And, yeah, so if I have to... I might be able to stream from my friend's setup, but I'm not sure how well that'll work. So I might have to load up a flash drive full of stuff, because I don't have anything set up through Streamlabs. I only have stuff set up through OBS now, because I don't like using Streamlabs. So, stream on the pups. We can watch the pups for you, Lamau. Puppy cam? I mean, no. Sorry. I don't know. It's a very uncertain thing. I don't think so, is my answer. So, yeah. I don't think it's gonna work, because my laptop's not good enough to stream now. And, yeah. You see my dilemma. So, I'm gonna plan for debut. I might take the time to just set up for debut and debut after that. And then do my trip to Texas in April, post-tax season. That might not be a bad idea. So, I do not even own Mario Party, unfortunately. I don't have many Mario games on my Switch. I don't even have Mario Odyssey. I'm a fake Nintendo fan. Sue me. Yeah, I think that's what I might do. I was wanting to take like a 5-day trip to Texas. So, but unless. Good night, Tiny. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll catch you next time. See you Tuesday. And let me get back to looking. Yeah, I think I'm going to prioritize debut. Yeah. Okay, well. Yeah, okay, cool. So, I have some homework I need to do tonight then. Alright, cool. And hopefully, it'll turn out well. Hopefully, it'll turn out well. Right, chat? Right, chat. So. Oh, I need to ask somebody something, too. So, let's plan on debut being this week. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Because that gives me time to prep, get everything set up, gives my artists time. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think the call is going to be debut will be after I watch the dogs. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. So, it'll be sometime after that. So, late March. It would be sooner March if I had stuff, but yeah. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be streaming. I will be streaming. Don't you worry. If for everybody who cares. I'm just trying to plan out my, my stuff. So yeah. You'll see me on Tuesday again this week, and then you won't see me until next Tuesday afterwards. Because Wednesday I will not be streaming, because I need to be up at like 4 in the morning to get ready for my flight. I can even fact check myself real quick. And I'm going to. So let me go to my email. Let me see from her. Sorry, I'm just double checking something. Where the fuck is it? Now that it gets sent to the other email, it probably got sent to the other email. Because I thought you said you were going to debut this week. I said two, but I just put 2 sentences together. No, you're fine. I'm not debuting this week. No. I'm so frustrated. I can't make a pun with March. Like August for me, I'll say August, and September could have been Zeftember, but now I have nothing to work with. You can call it Zarch or Zefch. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong email actively. It's flight confirmation, not flight receipt. No, if I was gonna debut this week, y'all would know. And there goes this music, which is probably a good sign to start wrapping up. I'll say it, Arch. Weird. Oh well, but I wake up early. That's what matters. So, wow, it feels weird to be like, wow, I've only been streaming for about 3 hours. That's short. That's how long most people only stream for. Marzef, that's fun. That's funny. Every month is a Zeph month and short. Yeah, short and sweet for once. But yeah, see me on Tuesday. We'll probably play some Grand Blue or Honkai. One of the two. I might choose to do... I'll let you know. But see me on Tuesday, probably around our usual time, 5 to 6 p.m. PST. I'll make an official announcement in the Discord server when I've ironed that out. And you'll be seeing that probably tomorrow because it's a little too late to make an announcement in the Discord server. But in the meantime, I think we're going to wrap things up here for tonight. I think this was fun. Really good time to chat with everybody. We're going to go right into a good friend of mine. Her name is Caitlin Elizabeth. She's also a voice actor. And she has a great username. It's called Boobs McBalrog. And I hope you guys like it. And thank you all again for sticking around throughout the Persona playthrough. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. And I love y'all. And as it goes, I'll say you later. See you guys on Tuesday. Bye.